Not this week on the Not Anime Alchemists podcast.
In the anime,
There's so much left before we actually get to where we're at in the manga, which is wild. They haven't even finished the actual raid on the Spade Kingdom.
Oh, Isekai?
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Oshinoko.
That's an isekai. How is it? Oh, I haven't watched it. How the fuck is that an isekai?
Those like Force Unleashed and Lego Star Wars.
Lego Star Wars
Legendary,
was so
bro.
much fun. I played the shit out of Lego Star
I was
Wars.
thinking about buying it recently.
Do you prefer having just like a random filler episode, or do you prefer them to just take a week off and then go back into it? It's having. And oh my god, I remember the last chapter that I read for Kaiju No.8. My jaw dropped. And again, I'm an idiot and I stopped reading after that. But it like had this big fucking reveal of something, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's a thing? Why is that a thing? And then
Welcome back to the Anime Alchemists Podcast. My name is Emory.
My name's Gary.
my name's Martine.
It's episode 131.
If you say so.
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
Hey,
You could say
let's
episode
go.
173 and I'd be like, cool. I don't give a fuck.
Appreciate you guys for listening or watching, whether it's on Apple Podcast or Spotify. Maybe you guys are checking us out on YouTube. Drops every Thursday. The audio drops on Wednesday. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, turn those notifications on. Make sure you guys leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if there's something you guys want to see us do. Pretty sure Martine will do anything if you guys ask.
I'll do it all
Yeah.
for a crisp $5 bill.
Except watch anime.
Yeah. You need to bring a 20. You're going to need to bring a 20 for that one.
Sorry.
$20.
If you recommend it, I won't watch it.
Spoiler warning, like always.
Make sure you use that for your G Fuel as well. Get 10% off. And if you use our link, you'll also get a discount.
Now let's talk about some anime
Yeah.
and some manga. Sorry, we gotta talk about some manga stuff, guys.
Manga spoilers and anime spoilers for starting with Black Clover.
Oh fuck yes.
How you feeling, buddy?
I feel pretty good. Why?
It's been a minute since we got a last chapter.
It's like we get it, but now we wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was so good though. Like just seeing what Melioriola did
Oh my god.
with her squad.
Was crazy.
Bro, she's beyond natural limitations,
Mm-hmm.
right? I can't wait to see what other people are doing this shit. Because, I mean, Asta basically just did that.
Yeah.
And now she did that.
And that's what Yuno was doing at the beginning of that.
Yes.
That seems like an even more advanced level of magic that like very, very few of the knights can actually perform. And I think
I'ma
it's so
share it.
fucking cool.
It's like you become so attuned, like you're really connected with like your mana zone.
Mm-hmm. Now you can like spread it to other people basically.
mm.
Would you say, you know how like Asta shared his like devil powers or whatever with like the whole black bulls? And people were complaining that was really similar to like Naruto when he shared the Nine Tails powers to like the whole army. Do you think that's really similar, or do you think it's unique enough?
I think it's unique enough, honestly, in the sense that like their abilities are like amped, but they're the same, and they're kind of like fueled by the anti-magic, you know? It
Yeah.
like kind of changed the element of what their ability is,
Mm-hmm.
but their ability is indifferent. Where like he just shared the cloak.
Yeah, it was like a
right? To, like,
protective
protect
thing
them.
more than anything.
and then like just to fuel chakra so they can throw out big moves.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's really badass, and I like that he shares it with everybody, and then they actually do something with it.
Well, yeah, it's not like
Like-
Naruto shared it with everybody in the entire army, everybody who was there.
Which is an impressive feat. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
it was,
for sure.
it was. But Asta shared it like with his squad, right? She's sharing hers with her squad. Like I feel like there's kind of a bond-based thing built into that.
Think about what Yuno did.
I mean, it's
Yuno gave it to like
Black Clover.
everybody that was on the battlefield.
Yeah.
It was him that was like even giving anybody a fuking chance.
Who was the very first one to do it? Was it
dude,
Yuno?
he created his own mana zone doing that shit.
All right, man. I talk so much shit about Yuno, but he is a talented fuck, and I gotta give him that. He may be bland as fuck, but he's talented.
Yeah. He's like plain toast, but it's like French bread.
Yeah.
You know.
You know what?
I hate that makes so much fucking sense though.
Why?
It's just plain toast, but it's French bread.
French
Yeah.
bread.
Yeah.
Croissant.
Croissant.
Bro, okay, so I mean, what are the stakes at this point? Like,
Everybody could die.
Everybody's like, well, so much the stakes. It's not so much everybody's gonna die. I don't ultimately think, because you remember he's been like cooking up a fucking spell this entire time, like that big ass fucking thing that was above. I don't know what that ultimately is gonna do. It also looks like.
What is this man's ultimate goal? What
I'm
is he
pretty
trying to-
sure it's to probably open up the demon world barrier. I would think,
Okay.
and like
Why?
because like he essentially would create a world that has like no flaws.
Okay.
Since those two are like so like parallel to each other,
Right.
they should be connected.
Uh-huh.
But like if you let all that out, like everybody else is gonna be fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like, sucks.
But he also like wants to take those and then merge them with humans and like create those like paladin.
Oh, right.
beings.
I forgot the whole paladin like thing. So it's like kind of a purification type thing or point of view.
He's trying to create like the
we're
perfect-
cleansing the world.
That's essentially what he's doing. I'm not gonna lie, it's very
You like it, don't you?
yeah.
What's wrong with you?
It reminds me of the Anime.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
That's a good comparison.
man, yeah, that's.
I was trying to
Yeah.
think. It sounded really familiar to something. I was like, fuck, I feel like I've read or watched something
The
that had a
paladins
similar
remind me of
thing.
those like angels that were just sitting there fucking obliterating everything.
Yeah.
Like literally cutting reality away. That shit was crazy.
Hey, hopefully we'll get an animated version of that. We may not get Magi back, but maybe we'll get this.
I mean, think about what we have to get in the anime.
There's so much left before we actually get to where we're at in the manga, which is wild. They haven't even finished the actual raid on the Spade Kingdom arc.
Exactly.
It was fucking wild. Why would they? I don't know what the reason was, like, for them stopping the anime, but it seems
I
like
think it was contract
related.
Yes. It was like, we're going to give you this many episodes. Let's see how far you can take it. Unfortunately, by the time like that contract had ended, it was right smack dab in the middle of fucking COVID. So they were like,
Right. And
Yeah.
then Bleach kind of started coming back too, and I'm sure the focus was more so on that
Mhm.
because it was a really big deal that it was coming back at the time. So maybe they shifted more of their resources to that. And this is all speculation. I genuinely don't know the reason, but in my head, I would say that like maybe they actually care about their animators and they're like, let's not overload them with too many projects. Let's take our time with Bleach and maybe these smaller ones, wrap up most of that, and then by the time we're done with that, then we can focus more on Black Clover because that's also a big property with a really big fan base, you know?
and I swear to God, we said this. They did like a little feeler. They were like, let's see like how much the fan base like misses the series. Let's make a movie. We fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ate that movie.
So
I've watched that movie like probably 5 times, and I don't go back and rewatch anime movies often. Like I watch Ponyo maybe once every couple years, and I love Ponyo. It's one of my favorite Miyazaki movies.
movies are more.
It
of a
was
commitment.
good.
Yeah.
It was really good. Everybody streamed it a fuck ton. It's still like on the top 10 most popular things right now on Netflix.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow, really? I don't know.
Huh.
Good. Honestly, it was a fantastic movie. The animation was some of the best I've ever seen. And if we got that for the Spade Kingdom arc, holy
My God.
shit. I can't even imagine.
I think so. Based off of like kind of, I'm just going saying like what I've seen from how they've been doing with Bleach and like 1,000 Year Blood War. Like I'm gonna assume the pacing is gonna be pretty decent, and if so, they can probably fit enough. And I'm not gonna lie. There's no way they're gonna be able to do it in like less than 24 episodes.
You don't think so?
Fuck no.
So it'd be really. I don't know. I feel like they could.
I would spend the first 12 episodes doing like the whole build up and crazy like you know like Mamigoleon's fucking moments and like Magma's fucking moment and like all those characters moments, and then like the end is basically gonna have to be like Asta, Yami,
Noel.
Noel versus fucking
What about Nact? Doesn't he show up too?
yes.
We need to
see
see
that.
more from him. We need to see him just doing something in
I
the
need to
anime.
see the playground.
Yeah. Oh my god. I remember reading those chapters week to week, and it was just so like it got kind of abstract too after a
did,
while, and I'm like,
yes.
oh my god, I need to see this animated so I can kind of just like wrap my mind around it because it was so detailed and so there was so much going on in a good way. It's not that it was like bad or confusing. It's just sometimes when there's so much. I mean, he loves his full page spreads, but sometimes he really fills those with a lot of shit. I want to see that like in an animation sequence. Those are meant to be animated.
Like I don't know, like I think they could end it right off like the number 12 with like the releasing of what is it, Luciferio or Lucifero, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And then
Then the
come
other
back
12.
second core. Yeah.
Yeah, a 2-core thing I think would be good. I think that'd be solid.
You think like cut it right before that big fight,
Yeah.
Yeah, it would.
and then bring that next season back, just
For that fight, yeah.
just the fight, and then the kind of lead up into.
And then they can end that season with, you know what?
They can end that season with the reveal, with the whole spoiler warning, the whole Julius thingy, right? Julius reveal.
That's where it's got to end.
That's a good cliffhanger to end on. Because that's how it ended in the manga, and then we got that
For a
long ass
5 minute-
break.
Yeah, 3 months break.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember reading that like way after it dropped too, and y'all were like, "Well, you finally saw that?
Yeah, I freaked
That
the
was
fuck out.
crazy, right?"
Mhm.
Yeah, I see why you were going nuts for
Dude,
3 months.
The day we read that, we were like, dude, what the fuck? It flipped the entire story on its head, and we were just like theorizing a million different things, and I still don't genuinely know what's up with that. Like, if it's him being if it's like a whole William Vengeance type situation where like his body is being more so controlled and taken over by, I guess,
That's what it
fucking
seems like.
devil thingy, or
Yes, he is. Okay, so like, you know how they talked about the original, like, or like the big devils.
yeah.
It was it's like space, gravity,
Hmm.
and time.
Wasn't there like a written one, the word one, the very first one that we saw?
No, that was just like
It wasn't a big one. It
no.
was just like
It was just a high level demon.
Mhm.
He was a word demon.
the word.
What
the word
what
one,
he
yeah.
said became reality when he started speaking like demon language.
Dude, he creeped me out. He was good.
And he even said like, "Oh, you're not the one." Like when he like saw the demon behind Asta,
Mm-hmm.
he's like, "Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
You I know every demon that's ever like
I don't
come
know
through,
you."
and I don't know you."
Yeah.
But like they kind of like reference like one of those demon kings has always been here.
Okay. Okay. I gotta go back and maybe reread some of that stuff because it's been so long that we've been reading it. If you think about it, we've been reading that manga for like maybe 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see the whole story kind of all together. I would honestly just go back and reread the Spade Kingdom invasion arc, like from beginning to end. I feel like it would flow a lot better because I say this, and this is more so like my own personal experiences. I struggle sometimes watching or reading things week to week because that gap, like sometimes I'll
Sometimes
forget
you
small
forget.
details
Mhm.
that can be really important later on. But like when I don't think about it constantly, it kind of just floats. And I remember the big, the big panels, the big punches, the big events, but then the smaller like plot related stuff sometimes gets pushed to the back because if I'm watching a bunch of other things at the same time, it's hard to keep track of everything.
That's fair.
So
That is very fair.
I love like mediums like movies, TV shows, or whatever that when you can rewatch it or reread it and you get a different, you notice something new that you didn't the first time. I love that shit. Like my favorite movie is Interstellar, and I've seen it like 4 times. Every time I've seen it, I notice something new that I didn't notice the first time. So I probably would find something in Black Clover too.
One of the I guess theories that I've kind of had, it like essentially whenever that demon crossed over to our world, it was kind of like what happened with William and whatever the fuck his name was, but like
The elf, right?
yeah, so to demon kind and like their knowledge and everything like that, it's been thousands of years since like that demon left, but it was probably only like minutes for him.
Because time works differently for them.
Exactly. And like he was essentially, when he crossed over, he couldn't just be a like a demon in that world, because like that's kind of like their like law that they've kind of established. What's his name is Libel is the only like exception, because he had like no magic.
Right.
But like he was essentially born at the time, like the perfect time to go with oh my god, how am I forgetting his name right now?
Asta?
No, Julius.
Wow.
Like the fact that like Julius was just like, you saw how in the movie you saw how like complex magic got over time. Like essentially it was just light and swords.
Yeah.
And then like damn near like one of the like, you know, then you had like somebody who did chess, and then you had somebody who had keys. Like it was just the evolution of like how complex magic got throughout
Still
time.
barely understand how that key magic works, but you know, go on.
Yeah, the key magic was cool.
It was just so broken.
Yeah.
And so like Julius was just the person to be born at like a, so to speak, like the perfect
right time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like he was born like born to have time, and so like naturally like it attracted the time demon.
Oh.
That's why like his grimoire that was chosen
That
was
makes
never,
a
like,
lot more sense. Okay. Because I thought that he, like at first, I thought he was just evil. Like he was secretly evil the whole time.
No.
Because I would have been like, well, that's a fucking, that's a decision.
Like,
Say what? He was
Yeah.
faking?
Yeah, I thought like that was the thing, and I didn't know how I felt about that. I was like, okay, this could be good, but this could also be a huge ass pull that ruins the entire series. So
Yeah.
you gotta be careful with that kind of shit. But I like that better.
mhm.
Okay, cool. I needed a little bit of clarification on that.
And essentially it was just like a literal matter of time. Like yeah, seriously, like it was like literally like once Julius essentially used up a certain amount of time, that was it.
Oh, okay. And it didn't help that he had that whole fight with like the elves, and he had to use a lot of that time.
Yes,
And
yes, and then he had
it's kind of what like sped up like the whole process of
Mhm.
like, taking over. Yeah, I guess it was a timing thing. You know,
Damn.
you gotta do videos like explaining this kind of shit on YouTube, bro. It would do really well, and I would watch them.
I just
would-
like,
I would
like
too.
piecing it all together, I guess.
And I feel like that goes to show that like Black Clover is a little bit more well thought out than people give it credit for. Sometimes I feel like, you know, your average anime fan will just see Black Clover and think of it as a really simple story, but I'm like, I feel like it's done pretty well recently to be a little more, or have a little more depth than your typical shonen.
Not
Mhm.
like Boruto.
Which apparently is also coming back.
Both are coming back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same studio.
They announced it at the same time because
Mhm.
it's the same studio, not because they're in the same tier of what we call anime. So don't mistake that.
Be careful. Emery might get mad if you keep shit talking for it.
I have no idea what you're talking about, bro. Go right ahead, man. Shit on it all you want.
Uh-huh.
I'm just clarifying
Yeah.
for the audience.
That'll be interesting. I'm not gonna watch it, but y'all let me know. I'm sorry. I tried a little
Not
bit
watching
of Boruto.
Boruto, bro.
I
I'm
just
not
don't
gonna.
care. No.
I tried hella hard.
Mm.
The Boruto is a son I can't love.
Redheaded stepchild. Oh wait, no, that's Ichigo.
So you had like had a son, and then you were like, "Yeah, you're great. You'll do." And then you had a daughter. Who's like, "Oh, hey, that's right. That's right.
It's like, oh, you're there too.
Forgot about you. Oh, so and so."
Man, I hate this whole like new big three type talk, but when you think of like, you know, maybe 3 new gen animes that are kind of carrying, I guess, like I don't like when people throw Boruto in there because I could not agree with that at all. If I had to pick 3 new gen anime to call a quote unquote new big 3, which is not a thing, but for the sake of this conversation it is, I would pick personally Black Clover, My Hero, and Demon Slayer. Those are my personal like new gen big 3. That's just me. The arguable like switch would be putting JJK in there instead of Black Clover because Black Clover's had like such a big break. But I don't know. Have y'all ever thought about that? Like your personal new gen big 3?
Oh yeah, no, I mean I've thought about it a bunch. I unfortunately if we're talking like anime wise, yeah, no, I have to take out Black Clover just because like it hasn't had anything in.
Yeah,
4
I
years.
haven't had anything in a long time, but
Yeah.
neither did Bleach.
Oh,
Well, yeah, that's true.
if we're saying manga wise, Ooh.
But that was more official. Like it officially
Yeah,
was
yeah,
declared one. You know that one. Even though it did take that big of a break, it was also after like some of them ended, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. It was just still making those sales.
Yeah, like they all three were airing at the same time, and so the three of them were carrying the industry for that decade of time, essentially.
I do have to agree with
I'd say Demon Slayer for sure.
Yeah.
And My Hero.
yeah, like, and
It's just that third one. I'm just like, is there something else out there that's like coming out quick? What about fucking no? See, Slime came out too slow.
Mm-hmm. And it's got to be like, I feel like it has to fit that formula of like, you know, shonen protagonist, and I don't know, like, I mean, if you're comparing big threes, right, Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach, you have that, you know, single-led shonen protagonist that has powers or shit like that. It's action-oriented. It's more of a simple story, but that's kind of what they do. That's how I feel with My Hero and Demon Slayer, so I feel like that third one probably should be within that same boat, give or take. That's why I feel like Black Clover fits it pretty well. That's also why I feel JJK fits it decently well, too.
Those are both fair arguments, honestly.
I feel like there's other ones that I'm just not thinking of. My brain is not working.
I guess like maybe in like a couple of years, like the argument can be made for solo leveling, depending on like if they can put it out pretty quick, there ain't no fucking reason that shit shouldn't be like won't be like a new gen staple.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what we're gonna start calling it. Instead of like a new
gen
like a new
staple.
big three, it's the new gen staple.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
So like, you know, like if you're wanting to get into anime nowadays, My Hero, solid.
Yeah. Demon Slayer is still good, unfortunately.
Solid.
Not unfortunately, but like they're still carrying.
Yeah. The third one's kind of interchangeable. So like, you know, JJK, Black Clover.
Some people have thrown Attack on Titan in there.
Ooh,
That one, I don't disagree with that.
I don't hate that. Can I see that real quick?
Because like, it's shonen. Attack on Titan could work.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
weird comparing it to the other two, though, right?
Martin, you're gonna love
but
this.
Attack on Titan started in like 2011.
Exactly. It started It started before My Hero and Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
What did?
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah.
So that one is kind of in between the big
Like
three.
Demon
and this new
Slayer's
part of the,
first
like-
season came out around when My Hero's second season was coming out. I'm pretty sure that they came out in the same season.
Okay.
It was kind of like like the legendary trio,
Mm-hmm.
like Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho. Of course, I know you're gonna love the top one.
I love that Yu Yu Hakusho is up
Then
in
I
the
think it was, like-
legendary generation.
Is it like the big three? And then so yeah, the big three, and then I think it was like what, the 2000 era?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the 2000 era look like?
The middle generation after the big three, but before like the new current gen, I guess, is this person specifically, it's T_Porter59, says the middle generation being Full Metal Alchemist, Hunter x Hunter, and Attack on Titan. I kind of fuck with that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah. I could see that.
That's like the three ideal like kind of.
Probably like the biggest
Ooh.
staples of them.
I kind of have an issue with it actually.
Which one are you thinking?
Why where's Soul Eater at?
Soul Eater's a good one too.
What?
You don't think it's as big as those three?
What's that?
Full
other
Metal?
third one?
Way more.
Yeah, nah, I'm just gonna have to agree because
Maybe
Hunter x Hunter arguably is a better fucking series. Even just what's put out. I think that one's JJK.
Yeah, I see the uniform and the pink hair.
And then
I would say like maybe
Full Metal is just arguably a perfect anime.
like statistically speaking, right? In terms of numbers produced, right? I would argue probably those three because Attack on Titan is universally known. Like that
Yes.
one is insanely big. Full Metal Alchemist is still regarded as like the number one anime, right? And then Hunter x Hunter is fucking Hunter x Hunter. Like
it's literally
like it or not, it's popular.
If you look in the legendary row, guess what? One of those creators, it's the same work.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Like it.
Yeah, it literally like goes on.
And then OG just goes to Astro Boy.
OG goes to Astro Boy. What about Speed
Yeah.
Racer?
Speed Racer's up there.
Astro Boy, Speed Racer, and
There's a third one there.
Mm-hmm. Gundam.
Gundam. Gundam has always been, always will be. Not even a Gundam fan,
is
but I know.
eternal.
Yeah. You know, one that I kind of hope to see as like a new trio after the My Hero and Demon Slayer generation.
Mhm.
I kind of hope that it's like solo leveling, like you said.
Uh-huh.
I really hope Kaiju No.8 gets the respect it deserves and contends with
Okay.
that. And then the third one, people say it could be like Chainsaw Man,
Hell's Paradise?
Hell's Paradise. Yeah, I think Chainsaw Man's probably a little more popular than Hell's Paradise. I like Hell's Paradise.
Okay,
a
how about
lot.
this? How about
I did.
do you think you can pick something that's not Mappa?
Oh, I didn't
Because your
even
other two, no, your
realize.
other two weren't Mappa.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh.
Dude, who did fucking
Thinking,
Shangri-La?
thinking. Shangri-La?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I really liked it.
It was A1.
Was that A1?
Oh god, that makes a lot of sense. Wait, then that's the same people. Wait, what?
A1. Yeah, same people that did Solo Leveling.
Huh?
And I don't know who's producing Kaiju No.8 right
I'm
now.
probably wrong then.
We looked this up recently.
Ooh, what are your like 3 fantasy, like new gen fantasy trios? Not shonen, fuck shonen. What's like a trio fantasy that you could think of?
Fantasy?
Yeah.
So like even isekai?
Preferably not isekai. Preferably, if you can't think of anything else, I'll allow it. Because I have one that I really want as a contender for like, has to be part of the 3.
Yeah, Freerin.
Yeah, I feel like a
Okay.
free run is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we won't put isekai, which means we sideline in Mushoku Tensei.
And
that's
slime.
a shame, yeah.
And slime.
And slime. We'll do the isekai trio after this. How about that?
I could do that. I can easily do that one.
I don't know how we came up with this, but
I
I like
already
this.
know that, to be honest.
Fuck it. Okay, so we got Free Run as a good fantasy.
Uh-huh.
Y'all watch more than me. Y'all gonna have to fucking
Help fuel
help
this?
carry. Yeah, I saw my list and what about How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? That's not an isekai. That's a great fantasy.
Shit, man. He's so right.
Right?
He's so good.
Danmachi's
Been going
amazing.
for a while.
They have been.
Yeah.
They got like 4 seasons now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that 4th season was peak, dude. Fucking 10 out of 10.
I'll argue with that's like hands down like a phenomenal fantasy anime.
I can't believe y'all
Oh.
aren't thinking of one.
Great fantasy anime.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars or Clone Wars?
Oh my.
I'm surprised that I'm the one bringing this one up. MASH?
Oh fuck yes.
How is that not?
Hands down, best fucking fantasy anime out there. I don't
No,
Fuck.
Magi.
Ooh.
I just broke him. I just broke his argument. You saw that?
Aw,
He's
dude.
folded.
I would
folded
agree
him
with
like a
you if there
towel.
was more of an anime for it.
There's
If the
it
rest of
literally,
it got
like-
animated, yes. No,
But like
no
there's
question.
like the same amount.
I know, but fuck, no one. Okay, I
Yeah.
understand personal preference. Yeah, like I would take Magi over MASH any day of the week. But no, unfortunately, no one's fucking talking about Magi, bro.
We're talking about Magi.
I
I'm sorry.
understand. You're gonna mute yourself again.
I know.
Like you gotta think. Like a big 3 is not also just like what your favorite 3 are. It's like what, like
What
the
was really
community
popular?
can kind of get behind. Like
Then,
yeah,
then
these
I'm
are
gonna
the
say
3.
Free Run.
Yeah, so then Madoka Magica.
Is Madoka Magica still like out? Like is that a
It's like-
current
it's
thing?
Like, no.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought it was still like
It doesn't
ongoing.
have the level of MASH. I can't
But it was super popular whenever it was coming out. It was
But
like
that would go under like Magic Girl.
Kyubey was iconic. They had fucking T-shirts of him in the stores before like there was really anime merch. They had backpacks and plushies of him.
I got it.
What?
Oh,
Is that fantasy?
I would
Or I'm
say so.
Yeah.
Akame ga Kill is definitely fantasy, bro. What you mean?
Okay.
Tatsumi coming from the mountains, slays a dragon.
Oh, you're fucking
young
right.
warrior.
Yeah, it's just not so fantasy. It's fantasy enough.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
like
Comic
Game of
got killed.
Thrones.
Take it or leave it.
I'll take it.
Uh-huh.
All right. What are your big 3 isekai?
Wait, did we land on all 3?
I think we said
Yeah. Well, I said MASH.
You said
Free
we have like 5 on the table. We said Freeran, MASH,
I can
Danmachi.
agree with the Akame ga Kill.
Akame ga Kill,
Yeah.
and Magi. I think we said.
Yeah.
No.
I say Akame ga Kill.
Danmachi.
I'll definitely give it that.
Or, man, I'd say Danmachi, Akame ga Kill, and Freeran.
I'm okay with that. Oh, I like MASH a lot, but I think it's still too new.
Yeah.
It's a little too new still.
Okay, so then I would do Danmachi, Freeran.
Would be like putting fucking One Punch Man in a superhero category. You feel me? Like it doesn't work. It would, it's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's still satire. Like it's supposed to be funny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he has a really good point. The weight behind it doesn't hit the same as shit that like Danmachi touches on, that Freeran touches on, and Akame. Like they.
Okay, yeah, then I'll agree to that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I think I can take those 3 more seriously than
Yeah,
MASH. I love MASH. It's a lot of fun, and like, but it did take me a minute to come around. The second season sold me. The second season was amazing. First season was like, all right, I'll truck through it. It's good, but yeah, the other 3, great.
Shut up. He's like, that's the only thing.
Dog, my homie who doesn't watch really much anime, I think he's watched like 1 or 2. He saw our video doing the Bing Bum Bung dance pop up on his feed. He's like, yo, is this you? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. He's like, I fucking love it. It's a great fucking song. And he sings it to me every time we hop on live, bro. Martin, Bing Bum Bum, Bing Bum. Song goes hard.
It's so funny.
And I'm like, dude, you should pick it up. The show's not bad. He's like, yeah, I honestly might. It's a fucking fire song.
I guess big 3 isekai.
Mm-hmm. And let's, I guess, keep it more of all time, I guess, to make it easy. So you have more to pick from?
Of all time?
Sure. I was thinking Sword Art.
Shit, bro.
In terms of
If you're saying
iconicness, right?
Digimon.
Dragon Ball.
No, don't fucking start. No, I'm not entertaining that right now. Like actual
Spirited
isekai.
Away.
Are we including movies? We can include movies.
But he's right.
He is. No, it's Spirited Away. How are you not going to consider that a fucking iconic isekai?
Avatar.
What about Sword Art?
What about that Pokemon movie where Ash travels back in time with Celebi?
Again, like,
What about Rising
work
of
with me here, but
Like,
only if
It's not
season
one.
1 was all that had been out, and if this was like 3 years ago, then I'd argue for Rising of the Shield Hero, but not anymore.
no.
I think it lost its place in iconic anime.
Oh, Isekai?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Oshinoko.
That's an isekai. How is it? Oh, I haven't watched it. How the fuck is that an isekai?
I mean,
Is it because he like gets reincarnated into like the baby or whatever?
yeah. I'd say it's Isekai. It's like he's not born into a new world, but he's born into like a new class of life.
You're being so like niche about it. Be like, well, technically, this is also. a fucking isekai. Give me a general, man. Like you're talking to someone who's never watched anime. Give him like the 3 isekai.
The time I got reincarnated as a slime.
What's that one?
Spider?
Welcome to McDonald's.
Oh,
Yeah,
Devil's a
thank you.
part-timer.
Devil is a part-timer.
I love that one. That one's a lot of fun.
Honestly.
Reverse Isekai.
It's a reverse isekai, yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna say? Just this is gonna get a lot of shit.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say Devil is a part-timer.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna explain that later. Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mhm.
And like I know you haven't seen it, but like
I love slime.
slime.
Oh no, I know it's iconic enough, and that it
Mhm.
is a huge fucking fandom that I would put it up there, not having seen it.
Now, the only reason I'm not going to put SAO in there, it is an honorable mention, but the only reason I'm not going to is because if you're just trying to explain to somebody who's just getting into anime,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, just watch the first season and then watch like the next like 6 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're going to completely skip everything that has to do with guns because that was kind of lame. And then, you can pick up here.
That's too
And then, like,
complicated.
like
over, it's complicated.
like it is an iconic isekai anime. Yes,
Okay, yeah, I could give you that.
but
Like, it's a good gateway for people, because, like, I know a lot of people who have only watched Sword Art, and they're like, oh, that shit was cool. And then that's it. That's all they fucking
but like, have they watched all of it?
Isn't
Exactly.
Magi an isekai?
Yes,
Okay. Just like
it is
Dragon Ball.
totally an isekai.
Okay. I like those three, though.
Mhm.
That makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense, yeah.
I would really, really enjoy a couple more seasons of Soma Spider. So what though?
Dude, I would.
And campfire cooking in another world is a big honorable mention.
Fuck yes, it is.
Those can be your new gen recommendations.
Oh,
How
vending
about that?
machine.
Oh my god, I forgot about the vending machine.
You know,
So there's
It's
just so many isekai now.
Cute,
Every
but-
other new anime is an isekai.
well, see, that's the thing is when it's the same story I've seen, but with a different like template for the characters, I you know,
I kind of fuck with it.
I know I'll watch enough to see if it's gonna develop into its own thing, and if not, I'll drop it.
Yeah.
Or like it was a vending machine.
It's pretty unique.
Yeah, it's unique enough. You know, but it was different than what you would expect.
Yeah.
And they were creative enough to be like, oh, this is gonna be the main character.
Depending on the direction it takes, man, Remonster.
Yeah, Remonster's been pretty good. Oh man, there's a lot out, but
The isekai genre is definitely saturated.
Saturated.
Yeah. But if I'm, but like,
I mean, but I watch everything.
That's fine.
I
yeah.
watch anything.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the garbage. I'm gonna watch the trash. Ooh,
watch the
trash.
podcast.
Yum, yum, trash. I love trash. Give me trash.
Give me trash. I do like that we all kind of agree on Jobless, though. Like, I feel like that's definitely
Yeah.
earned, like, and cemented its spot as, like,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
isekai recommendation.
it's so.
It's so good, which we will be talking about that more in depth at a later date.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Maybe, like, in depth. I'm talking. like,
yeah,
we're,
when
we'll
I
t-
say- yeah.
we'll briefly cover some stuff here, but, like, we have a certain guest
Yes,
that
yeah,
likes to
yeah.
talk
Oh, yeah,
about
when-
Jobless. So
Let's just
Fair.
save it for him. Bro.
I'm fine. Yeah, you know,
we
yeah.
can make that a
You know,
whole
we'll just
thing,
save
yeah.
that, and then just, you know, when he comes on, we'll just be like, "What about this? I already want to know about this. Did you not see this?" Like, I want to just. Good.
Alright.
I love it because he sits next to me.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Can you just-
All right,
just
get
gonna
ready,
abuse
bud.
him.
Your time is coming.
You know, it's you, Sam. I'm talking to you. Is this your special message? You hear me?
Bring your punch card. The next one, you can get a free sundae.
Oh, yay!
We should set some shit up like that from now on. Just be like, "Come on the podcast each
Mhm.
time you do it.
You
know,
get
you know.
a little sticker thingy.
come on 3 times, and you know we'll."
Fuck. We'll buy you a G Fuel. You cut that shit. You cut that shit. I never said it.
I'll cut it.
And then
save it.
And then what we do is we also put their name in a bracket for Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi tournament.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, I want to play that again. I miss it.
Setups here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Y'all haven't even touched Tenkaichi 2. I already know.
No.
Right.
I want to come back when y'all have played more so I can have a challenge.
I understand.
You know what? That's
I truly understand. I really do.
when you only have Pablo. I understand.
Yeah, I get tired of beating his ass. Like, it's no fun. He gives up after 3.
Because he feels bad.
Yes, after the third ass whooping I give him, he's like, I don't even want to play anymore. And I'm like,
You're
bro.
such a bitch.
If you guys haven't seen, there is out a recording of us playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Martine's the GOAT. He found a physical copy, so we set up the PS2 and we were like doing tournaments and playing the story. If you guys did check that out and you guys enjoyed it, let us know if you guys want us to bring that back, because it seems like
It was a lot of fun.
seems like everybody's kind of itching to play more, and it's just a really good excuse.
And we also
Pablo
have.
needs a chance to redeem himself.
He really
because he didn't win anything. There was points where we were all fighting and trying to like beat things, and he never got an opportunity.
He almost
to, like,
lost
beat
to
a
Bunny
boss.
Lord off screen.
Ew.
Almost.
Oh my god, that's right.
Bunny Lord had never played before.
She was dog walking him.
He still came out on top. That's the only thing he
That's
won. But yeah, and we do also have other ones. So that's something that like I'm kind of curious about doing. So let us know if you're interested in doing more like old retro game playthroughs. Like we have the means to do it. We don't know if anybody's even interested in it, but if you are, let us know. We could maybe look into doing that.
Yeah, fighting games,
We have
RPGs.
the other Dragon Ball games. We have other old school PS2 games.
I got Grand Theft Auto if anybody's interested in that.
Yeah, so
San Andreas.
Yeah, we also have like Mario Kart, Mario Party, all that shit.
You know, that's a good point. You know, like
we
we
could do nights
easily
like that. Yeah,
could set up and yeah.
we could bring back the old school GTA when we're getting ready for the new GTA 6 to come out.
I'm scared for it to come out.
Could be so.
I don't know what's gonna happen to me.
Have you seen
Yeah.
You're gonna really have to like manage my time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be spending a lot of time on that
Yeah,
game. Like,
yeah.
I think when that game comes out, I better be done with most of my Destiny shenanigans because, dude, I'm gonna play
No.
the fuck out of GTA 6.
I might have to get it on PC.
I'm probably getting them.
I don't know.
I don't know, PC or PS5.
See,
I
I want to
say-
say PS5 because of graphics.
Yeah.
You don't think it would look good on PC?
I think it would, but it's a PS5, bro. PS5.
Okay,
crank it
so
up.
PS5 compared to like
It also depends on the graphics card you have.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like what's in the like PS5s now? Yeah, it's like
Well, you also gotta think if you're gonna play for hours, you don't want to be using the common TV, like the common room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I find it hard to play like games on the common room TV. Like I have what is that game called? The one that I was playing for a little bit before. Not the Bloodborne game. Oh, Elden Ring.
Oh,
I haven't touched it, and well, not because I didn't like it. I just like I have to find like a time and place for me to actually sit there and start playing that, and I don't really do that anymore. I only play games on my PC nowadays because it's just like easier. Like, I'm not in the way of like whoever wants to watch TV, for example. So maybe I would.
Oh, trust me, there was like, I felt awkward sometimes when like they would come home and I'm just like sitting in the chair and I'm just in the middle playing God of War.
Yeah, because it's like in the common room area.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's like they'll understand. I'm about to beat this level.
Uh-huh.
It'd be like that.
Yeah, it felt cool because I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna fight something like crazy, like
You watch
come,
this.
come watch this, it's gonna be nuts. I'm like, oh, okay. Like by the end, it's just like, holy shit, that was crazy. It's like I was not in control. I was pure fucking.
I was
luck.
not in control of that situation at all.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like that every fucking time.
I tried to help as much as I could. Be like, pay attention to the animation, see them do a thing.
He
It's
would,
like,
he'd
oh,
be
he's
like-
throwing something.
God, I never finished like all the like full big bosses in that game.
An
There
Elden Ring?
was no in God of War. There was like one other boss that like, if you beat him, whew, game was like,
That's another one I need to pick back up. I started the beginning of it. I unlocked like one of like the next weapon that you get.
mhm.
I think it was the axe, the throwing axe, maybe.
No, you get
No,
that
the
right away.
chains, the chains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I unlocked the chains, badass. But then I don't know why I decided let me play Elden Ring, and then I tried playing Elden Ring for a little bit. I was like, this is fucking hard, and then I went back to Destiny because I'm a crackhead.
Sounds like it.
No, he just loves space. Okay, so the Star Wars game I got, like New Order.
Oh, I've heard that
like-
game is really good.
Yeah, bro, it's like Elden Ring or God of War or Bloodborne, like that same type of play style.
In a
But
Star Wars
it's
game.
Star Wars, and you're a Jedi.
Yeah.
But you know, this is like after the Empire takes over. Really
Mhm.
good.
Sounds interesting.
Like
No, I've
I
heard
played
great
the
things about
first
that one.
one, Fallen Order,
hmm
or
What about Jedi Survivor?
Jedi Survivor. That's the one I'm talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
It's downloading right now.
Yeah, I saw that on your PS5, and I've been curious to try those games. I miss like a good Star Wars games. One of the last ones that I just vividly remember playing was way back in the day. It was the Force Unleashed games, 1
Bro,
and
those
2.
were so good.
I
Why
love.
is there not a remastered remake version?
I would
of
take
those
a
games?
remaster. I would take a fucking sequel. Give me a third one. I don't fucking
Bro,
care.
Darth Vader as your fucking master. That shit was so cool. That was every kid's dream.
Yeah, and you could do all the shit that you wish they would do in the movies in those games. It was so fucking awesome. I was like, that's old now though. I was playing that on the Wii and maybe the 360.
PS2,
Mhm.
not PS3.
Mm.
PS2.
Mhm.
Never went further than PS3. Force Unleashed 3 or PS2. Force Unleashed 3 was on 2. Never went past that. Bro, those were such good games.
They don't make games the way they used to.
Nope.
Those like Force Unleashed and Lego Star Wars.
Lego
They're
Star Wars
legendary,
was so
bro.
much fun. I played the shit out of Lego Star
I was
Wars.
thinking about buying it recently.
If you do invite me, I'll come over.
I will.
And Papa will come too. He loved those games. We used to fucking do the co-op all the time.
Oh,
He'd
they
always
were
get
so
mad
fun.
because when we unlocked everybody, he always wanted to go to Yoda, but I'd pick him first. And I'm like, nah, I want to be Yoda.
Well, fuck you, bro. You're my little brother.
Yeah.
You don't get what you want.
You can be Anakin.
10 second.
Yeah, go ahead, pick Obi-Wan.
Yeah. He's like, I'll go first. Little brothers.
So Gary, you sent this to us in like our group chat on Instagram, I believe, and I was like, that's fucking crazy. So I kind of want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 big directors from the One Piece anime team have left, and it's the ones who did episode 1061, which was the Sanji versus Queen,
Ryota Nakamura.
and 1062, which was the Zoro versus King.
Ryosuke Tanaka.
And
That's so unfortunate.
yeah, because those
They both
were-
left Toy.
That fucking sucks. Those were some amazing episodes. They have maybe like some of the best episodes that Wano produced.
Mm.
What does that mean is going on? Like either they're leaving to go form their own like company, and then come back and be like, "Oh, hire my company."
Okay.
That could be good.
They're doing because that's what a lot of people in the industry are doing now to kind of protect themselves. Like
Smart.
it's easy to mistreat a person. It's kind of hard to do it to a whole company.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they could be more in control of like the times it takes to animate stuff, the processes, all that.
It's
shit.
like it's a meeting comes in. It's like, hey, we want you to do this episode and this episode and this episode. They're like 6 months out. Do you think that's possible? It's like, yeah, no, we should be able to do that, but like, I'm only gonna be able to produce like this level of quality. If you
Mhm.
want like my 100%, like I mean, I'll produce the
this much
craziest
time.
shit. I'm gonna need like minimum 9 months.
Okay.
Give me 3 extra months, 3 extra thousand, and we'll call it a deal.
Boom.
I see them going towards a lot more freelance animators. Like
Mhm.
Vincent Chancellor, I believe, is a freelance animator. Like he
Yeah.
has done stuff for One Piece, for JJK, and there's another show that I can't remember off the top of my head. But he's done like a bunch of different stuff, and his style is so iconic now. He's one of like those animators that, in just very recent memory, has been climbing the ranks in terms of like notability. Like most people who are big anime fans, if you say that name, they'll be relatively familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or like people like us at the very least.
Super nerds.
Super nerds.
We care too much. You made me care more.
So we've talked about some of these so far, but
we're skipping Jobless.
yeah, we're skipping Jobless completely.
So Kaiju No.8's cool.
It's cool.
That little blonde bitch is stuck up though. I was happy when she got her arm broke.
Bro, you're gonna really regret that in a fucking.
So, but
No, I was just saying
month or
that
two.
to trigger you because
Okay.
I heard you talk about how amazing of a character.
She's really good. Like you'll like her a lot.
by,
Yeah, she threw a van. I was like, oh shit. Okay.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Spicy.
Uh huh.
All right.
By the time this episode comes out, roughly we're about like 4 episodes. Oh no! By the time this episode comes out, I think 5 episodes will be out.
Mm-hmm.
But so far we've only watched 4.
Yep.
And
We just watched the other kaiju's kind of like reemerge and attack like all the test takers basically.
Yeah.
That whole episode.
Bro, I don't know what that thing was, but clearly there's extra stuff going on. That like mushroom headed looking
Mm-hmm.
fucking kaiju who
That
like
thing was weird.
transformed into a person, and the disposal team,
Yeah.
Mhm. He's on the
bro, he revived. He was like reviving them.
and making them stronger too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just they were back up and running. Like their power kind of increased from what it was earlier. And I don't know if y'all noticed either, but like it was giving the readings of in terms of like power or magnitude or whatever.
Yeah.
And most of them went up to like a 6.8, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in the control room, they were saying like, oh shit, like that's kind of what we would send an entire unit for. these
Mhm.
test takers cannot take them out single-handedly, right? And then when Kafka comes in, right, and does his whole fucking thing, you know, he does like his transformation, then there's a huge fucking explosion. A lot of the drones kind of go out, but the last reading that they got was saying that there was another kaiju at 9.8,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the little,
9.8 what durability?
like just in terms of like magnitude, like the way they assess the power of all the different
Of
kaiju,
kaijus.
right?
And they're like, that's impossible.
Yeah, no, the dude completely
no.
dismissed it. He's like, "Oh, there's no way that's true. Like that if
That's
that
one of
were
the
true,
most-
that'd be
that's
the
like-
most fucking powerful kaiju that we've ever recorded." So it clearly scrambled the fucking radar.
I
Don't
love
even-
that.
Yeah, and we're just like, "No, this man's fucking powerful, bro."
Like, think about it, okay? He's in their suit, and they're all like, you know, the average person, or like the average, like, you know, member who's been like training can pull out like 20%. What's her name pulls out fucking 40 something. And they're like, it's almost impossible to pull out 0.
I'm sure it's because of he's part kaiju now.
See, and I kind of think that's part of the issue. But then, like, there was that solid moment. I think it was in like the 3rd episode where he went up 0.01%.
Mhm.
And, like, you know, if you just take that and you apply it to the number they gave it to the kaiju, that makes him a 9.9.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Oh my god. God
Like,
damn it.
hands down, they don't
He's
really.
almost out of 10.
Yeah.
The math is mathing.
I thought it was cool that, like, you know, you saw him like put on this suit and like on this scale, literally the weakest thing ever.
Mhm.
But then when they put him scaled to what they
Kaiju.
consider a kaiju, what they consider like the scariest thing ever, he's one of the fucking scariest to
Mhm.
date.
Yeah, and I like that because so I haven't gotten too far in the manga because I stopped a long time ago, but I like the idea that he can grow in terms of strength or like potential as a human because we saw him go from 0 to 0.01. Granted,
Mhm.
it's not much of a change, but you can assume that hopefully as the show progresses, he'll maybe start drawing more of his potential out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that could also kind of go hand in hand with his powers as a kaiju, right? Maybe he starts, and again, this isn't like, as far as I know, this hasn't actually happened, but maybe he starts taking in some of that power from the kaiju and maybe even like incorporating it into his own like body or something. I don't know. I think that could be a really interesting way to like go about it, to where it gets to the point way later on where he doesn't rely on the kaiju form as much, and maybe he's more capable of doing stuff on his own or something, because that
Oh.
is his ultimate goal, right? It's just kind of not being left behind as like the old man who is past his prime. Like, no, like I'm still here, I'm still willing to work and like, you know, keep up and be a hero essentially alongside my childhood friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just my headcanon
No, I mean,
idea
it's-
that I
it's
think
n-
would be kind of cool. I could be completely wrong, but
No, I fuck with that.
right.
Huh.
That'd be really cool.
It's still like I love I love that it's still in that like early stage where like
We don't know shit.
yeah.
Like, it kind of reminds me of back when Hell's Paradise was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
We were encountering the different things that could use Tau, but we didn't know if it was Tau or what Tau really was. We were sitting here like, so it made fire, right? Like, that was Tau,
I
right?
saw that too, right?
I don't know. Yeah, I like whenever we can kind of theorize and
Mm-hmm.
look at it. I also love in series like this whenever they take kind of like mindless beings, I guess.
Mhm.
Like, you know, curses, kaiju.
Oh yeah. And then like
Yeah, and they give them sentience. Even like Fire Force when they did that with the Infernals, right?
Oh.
The first one that like started talking and like had some
Mhm.
sentience. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's creepy. That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I love
fuck
that
with
show.
it.
Me too. That's a really good point. There's a bunch of different shows that have done that, and I like it. It adds more like drama, and it raises the stakes because, like, sure, a big fire-breathing monster is scary, but it's a monster. It doesn't really know what it's doing. It's just attacking for the sake of attacking. But when you get a more condensed version of that can have a conversation with you
Mm.
and tell you, like, yeah, I know I'm doing this for a reason, and I'm like 10 times more powerful than that fucking thing.
Yeah, I'm scared.
That's some scary shit, and that
I'm
drives the
scared.
plot, man. I like that. I still don't really know what the fuck that thing is.
I can't wait to see more of it. He looked like a mushroom.
Yeah.
You still
Designs-
don't know what that thing is?
Not really.
Hmm.
I think it was about to start explaining some of it, but it's very like it's drip feeding information about that side of stuff. Yeah, no, it's fucking cool. Like this one, I think it takes its time telling like the story, but okay, it's been a little bit, but I feel like it does a little bit more adventure in like building up your main cast of characters, right? And showing what they're capable of with like the monsters, and then every now and then this fucking kaiju thing pops up and you're like, hey, this thing's kind of a big deal, just keep an eye on it. Oh, it gives me the same feeling as like early My Hero Academia, when like they would have a villain each arc or whatever, but then every now and then Shigaraki would kind of be like show up and be like, hey, I'm here, by the
I'm
way.
a real problem.
Like, I know I'm not shit right now, but I might be.
Okay.
And here he is now, being a problem. you kind of see what I'm going at? That's what I'm thinking is like what they're doing. I kind of like the structure that it's having. And oh my god, I remember the last chapter that I read for Kaiju No.8. My jaw dropped. And again, I'm an idiot and I stopped reading after that. But it like had this big fucking reveal of something. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's a thing? Why is that a thing? And then, I stopped reading. So yeah. Interesting shit, man. This story and this anime has so much potential, and I hope that like if you haven't watched it, you go pick it up because it's a lot of fun. It's a really, really good one.
Don't let the first episode put you off.
Yeah. Oh, that's a question I have for you guys. I saw this conversation online about Kaiju No.8, and I thought it was worth mentioning. So I like Kaiju No.8 because the main character is like an older guy, like a 30-year-old man, and it's kind of refreshing having that instead of like a typical teenager.
Fucking 17-year-old.
Exactly. But some people are saying, well, sure, he's 30, but I feel like it doesn't really make a difference when he's still acting like a teenager. He's yelling the way like Zenitsu would. He's reacting a lot and being really big. He kind of is like a man-child sometimes. And like it kind of defeats the purpose of him even being old if he's just going to act like a typical like teenage protagonist. And
That's
I'm
like saying Goku should have never grown up.
That's what I'm saying. I think he has more moments where he does kind of reflect on his age, but I will say he does act childish sometimes. Like I can't disargue that because he does. But that's also a personality thing.
We'll find out if he's too childish based off if he gets the woman.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna say this, okay? Like, if you're somebody who's watching this podcast and you've kind of had that thought, like, what's the point, like, of him being 30 and still being childish? Okay, look at me. Now, give me the wide angle. Okay, yeah, I'm almost fucking 30. This is very fucking childish, okay? Like,
And take longer to mature than, everyone else. So,
but like,
you.
he's
It took Uncle Iroh, his son dying, and 50 years of life to mature.
facts.
You're gonna make me cry.
See, but like, I can kind of relate. Like, if he's like 30, he kind of views this point and is like, all right, like this is kind of my last chance to really fulfill like my dream.
Yeah.
And, I
And
mean,
fulfill that promise that he made too.
Mhm.
Like they have some kind of a connection, and like he values her. Like they
Trying to
look
clap
be,
those cheeks one day.
Sure. They also seem to be very, very close when they were kids, and she clearly remembers him. She clearly like remembers who he is, thinks about him when she's like alone too, and is like upset that he didn't keep that promise because maybe she looked up to him, and him failing to keep that promise is a big deal to her. So she was like, no, like I'm gonna go through with it because I'm like a person of my word. So that's like the story that it's telling.
and like, when you're like young and you like have those like aspirations, when you kind of, I guess, when you approach this age and you metaphorically and literally are shoveling shit, like it makes you kind of reflect on it and be like, well, what the fuck have I been doing for like the last
There's something
see-
better than this.
Yeah. And also seeing like that friend that you had made that promise to actually achieve the goals that you once had, I think like that speaks to. I think that's a very relatable thing.
Mhm.
Just imagine like you're at your job and maybe you're not super happy with what you're doing in life, right? And you go online, you're on social media, and you see a bunch of like people that you used to be friends with or people that you knew in high school, right? And they're off being like super successful and doing all these extravagant things. I feel like we've all kind of been there where you're just thinking like, damn, like like I could be doing something more, like I feel like it's a very natural thought to have as you grow older. So I think in that aspect, I think it does a good job of reflecting on the older mindset of like, dang, like I want to go and chase after the dreams that I had when I was younger before it's too late, because you're seeing someone else do it. And what's stopping them? Nothing should stop you from at least trying and giving it one more go, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really cool theme that the show has. And maybe it does play it for jokes a lot of the times, but I find it entertaining personally. And I think that underneath all of it, it still like carries that message. So my thoughts.
I know Emory identifies with it.
Yeah, like a motherfucker, bro.
Almost as much as he identifies with Aaron Yeager.
Like, dude, homeboy's got a job that he fucking hates,
Mm-hmm.
but like deep down just knows he's like, nah, man, I gotta do something better with my life.
80% was enough.
Fucking right, it wasn't. Dude, give me at least, I don't know, 98?
98?
98.
98.
Yeah.
Everybody outside the ball.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, it is 98%. But yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying Kaiju. I've been really excited for this show, and I've been counting down the days.
The animation ramps up randomly, and it's just like, yes. Yes.
And the music is so good. I heard one of y'all mention that too. The opening, in my opinion, is a contender for anime opening of the year.
Yes.
Like, it's so good, and the visuals are amazing, and it doesn't spoil anything, so go watch it a million times. And the ending song is by One Republic.
So fucking crazy.
When the
Yeah, that's
fuck did
fucking
I
crazy.
ever
I
One
didn't
Republic.
Know. I didn't know they'd be doing that either.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love that. So both of them are on my Spotify playlist because they're bangers.
I like his theme music.
Yeah, his music.
It kind of gives me like Toto vibes.
Yeah, I
Like
could
Toto
see that.
entrance vibes.
Mhm. No, it's solid as fuck.
You
Green
brought it.
Monster's good.
Oh my god, I know. We were talking about this earlier, and like I know Isekai's not your jam, but this just has a different approach.
He's born as a goblin.
Mhm.
And he just like, imagine if you were born as a goblin, right? But you had your intelligence, and like, you're a fantasy creature,
Mhm.
right? So you're probably gonna age at an accelerated rate, and like eat bullshit and deal with bullshit, like, cause that's the life of this fantasy creature.
Mhm.
But you also have human sentience.
Yeah.
And like abilities to an extent. So if you could apply yourself in a fantasy world where you can like level up in like say you're a human
Mhm.
and then you become a high human and then you become
I think y'all know something
grand
about that.
and then you become like a grand human.
Fucking Martine.
God damn it.
It's right there.
It was.
What'd you get? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's cool.
It's kind of like that. Like he's born as a goblin,
Mhm.
and then he evolves into like an Oni variation, right? And so do other people.
Like you see him like also grow up with like his own like I guess like birth like group,
Mhm.
like his own generation.
Okay.
And like you see how like as he takes his knowledge and applies it to like surviving, you see like people around are kind of like, huh, your way's different, but it seems to work. And like so then they end up at leveling up.
Okay.
And like just him being alive in that like ecosystem has caused like a very vast group of species to just start evolving rapidly.
Just his mere presence. Just
Yeah, it's funny. Like there's a point where the goblins come back.
Mm-hmm.
Like the goblin warriors that left to raid come back.
Like
And they're like, what do you mean? And it's like, oh, this is your generation's parents, like your fathers, right? And they come back, and it's like the children shit on these guys.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
and they've been alive for like 12 days.
Oh, just because of that accelerated growth,
Yeah.
basically.
And like, that and like the different things like.
The main
So
character has a
he's
big buff.
smart. Well, yes, there is that. He has a big buff, but man, it's cool. It's actually like an isekai, but it's also like a fantasy world. He's like in a fantasy world with crazy powers, and then he gets isekai'd out of that.
Okay.
But he
he's
still
like
has his
out
powers.
Out of the fantasy world.
No,
yeah, into another fantasy
like,
world.
he was in
But
a
he
fantasy
keeps his
world.
powers.
Alright. Okay, so it wasn't like real life into fantasy.
No,
Yeah. So
it was not real life into fantasy.
Oh,
This
okay.
is like-
okay.
A very fantasy world,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then it like futuristic fantasy,
Oh,
and
okay.
then into like
futuristic fantasy into like.
medieval fantasy.
Okay.
He has this like ability that like essentially everything he consumes, if he eats enough of it, he'll gain an attribute from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Kirby.
yes, except it doesn't wear off.
Oh God.
So like he ate this like I think it was like a horse that had like 3 horns.
Huh?
And so like now whenever he like would like throw a punch, essentially it would give like 3 blows. It's like one punch and it's just like
One punch.
get the fuck out.
Yeah, but one punch resulting in like 3 strikes. Dun-dun-dun.
That's kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
How's the action? Is it like?
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Not like that. That's not the only thing I care about. Obviously, I was just curious.
It's a soft isekai. Like it's a more like way of life, like growing, like
Like you legit like they keep track of the days.
Kind of like
Yeah.
Jobless, how that keeps track of time.
no,
Like literally
it would
the
be like
days.
oh,
Like
n-
day
day
62.
Yeah, like how many days they've been
Day-
alive.
Oh.
Yeah.
And like I mean that's been a consistent thing.
Wow, it's been such a short time. Holy shit,
Yeah, and he's that powerful.
It's only been like 3 months, maybe.
2
Or
months.
2 months. I mean.
bro.
Yeah, like and like their elder, he's just a base goblin, and he's just a horny old man.
And he's just not. He's not evolving at all either.
No, like he's just past the point that he can evolve. I'm guessing,
Mm-hmm.
and so like he's used to like old ways, and it's just like this sucks. But if I leave, I'm gonna die. At least this guy is letting me eat, even though he won't let me touch the pretty women.
Oh my God.
It's basically how that old man runs.
I mean, you got to think, bro. The Goblin Slayer.
yeah,
That's how they breed.
like that is kind of like
canonically, even in this anime.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
he
it's a little
he essentially
different.
he shut that down though,
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of.
as long as it's consensual.
All right.
They
I'm not
also-
gonna ask
they-
any questions.
I'm not gonna lie. There's like
Well, there's Gabe now.
yeah, and like
I wonder if they just didn't have female goblins because it was hard to survive.
they probably died immediately. There was only a few. Remember, there was like the alchemist one.
Well, now she like evolved again.
Yeah.
Remember?
Solid fucking anime.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Just shut up and enjoy it.
So per
Did you
this
see My Hero?
recording,
I did.
the newest episode of My Hero just came out.
Way to fucking start.
Yeah, that's how you start a fucking season.
Yeah. I had
Hey,
a
how do you feel
feeling.
about that Blue Sky now?
You want me to be honest?
I mean, they played it to their advantage this time.
Yeah, I mean the fight was in the sky. It's fine. It's fine. Again, like
I don't.
it's not a huge fucking thing. It's just what I could do like a little bit of orange sprinkled in, like mid morning. Oh, fuck.
I mean,
Whatever.
The orange was the laser beam.
That's not what I mean.
being
But you,
thrown down.
no,
on
that shit was
Shigaraki.
amazing. Obviously, like it's gonna be in the sky. I get it. I'm not even gonna bother trying
Well,
to.
okay,
have an
wait,
argument
hold
today.
on. But what was crazy is they were like in the sky, like really high above clouds,
Mm-hmm.
and in an instant, they're on the ocean floor.
Yeah,
being
dude.
pushed
I
apart. I was
noticed
like,
that the
"Holy
second time I
fuck."
watched that scene, I was like, oh fuck, I can see the ocean floor right there. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
notice it the first time because it all happened so fast. It's fucking badass,
Holy
man.
crazy.
Up in the sky.
Yeah. No,
on the sea floor.
They animated that really, really well.
Mhm.
I was waiting for that, like, since I read it the first time, and I'm like, fuck, this is gonna go so hard in the anime. They did a good job.
They did.
Mhm.
Even showing like the wind pressure of her.
Yeah,
Doing
that
the
was
smack.
sick. Yeah, I like seeing her like crush the air and everything, and they did a good job explaining her power too, because it's like it's a
Yes.
little complicated, but
Complex?
not too much. It's relatively.
Yeah.
Like, I like that they explain that like she constantly has a rule on herself, you know, to have like the
Mhm.
super strength, like All Might and everything. So that was good. I always judge how good the episode is based off of Pablo's reaction because he's completely blind. Like, he hasn't seen or hasn't read any of it, so it's all new to
Oh,
him. And
okay.
if he likes it, and if he's into it, I'm like, okay, then they're doing a
Was
good
he
job.
like, what?
Dude, his jaw was like the whole fucking time, and he looked at me. He's like, "Bro, what the fuck?" And I'm like, "I
Yeah.
know."
They cooking.
Yeah, this is
cooking.
what we've been waiting for.
Yeah, so this will be cool. And this will be interesting because this season will officially mark the point where I stopped reading the manga. So it'll eventually get to the point where I don't know what happens next.
Mhm.
And it'll probably be like maybe halfway through the season. But
I'm about the same, yeah.
yeah, so I'll be very, very interested to see how it's like being in the anime only perspective for a show like My Hero that I've been keeping up with for years now, you know? So I'm kind of hoping it'll be more refreshing and maybe it'll help me like enjoy it more. Because I personally have loved like the last couple seasons, but I haven't loved it as much as early My Hero Academia. I think the first like 3 or 4 seasons were some of the best that it
Oh,
ever was.
yeah.
And the war arc is great. The story itself is fantastic. But you know, if you listen to our last episode, we definitely talked a little bit about My Hero and some of the issues that it has. So definitely, I'm curious. I'm very interested to see how it does.
How it proceeds.
How it
And
proceeds.
if y'all don't like it, just watch the next episode.
Oh, yeah. The next episode's going to be fun. Getting crazy.
Getting crazy.
Like,
What's headed their way is nuts. This is like some of the craziest shit that the American government has been able to put together
Yeah.
in universe. Not in real life. Our government's way better than that.
What did y'all think of the opening? Did you watch it?
I think we did.
it was,
It's cool.
yeah. We
liked
did
it,
watch
man.
it. Yeah, I don't think we had any issues with it.
Really cool visuals. I like the visuals a lot. The song's dope. I guess it was fine.
Okay.
The episode was a good return to form.
Yes.
Good way to
Yeah.
like start it. Oh man, I remember it. I don't remember what season it was, but I think it was the one where it was after Overhaul maybe. It was like a mid-season break that they did. They came back and the first episode was like just it felt like filler. I don't remember if it actually was or wasn't, but they were at the school and I think they were like I think they had like a news reporter talking to them or something. And I just remember watching, I'm like, none of this feels important. None of this feels like it actually is.
Where's the
what this is.
excitement?
Well,
Like,
where
where's the season
something, like,
premiere?
just give me something that like moved the plot a little bit. But I felt like that episode alone was just like nothing is going to happen this episode. And then the next episode, I felt like everything kind of moved, and it wasn't even like anything crazy that happened. It was just like I think they started prepping for the sports festival, not the sports festival, the overall festival with the concert and everything, right?
Yeah, it
I'm
was
like, okay.
what's his name? Gentle.
Yeah, the Gentle Criminal arc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right before that started, but after the Overhaul stuff, there was like one episode. It might have been filler for all I know, but I just remember that like
I
it was a
remember that
nothing
too.
episode to me.
I remember that too. He was like trying to figure. He's like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure you're the one who got All Might's powers," and he like figures it out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep it to myself." And it's like, what was the point of this
yeah,
episode?
complete like a nothing episode basically. I'm glad that they don't do that anymore. Well, they haven't done it in a while.
I mean, like, I believe, like,
At
if you're
least
gonna,
they don't do like Bleach does, where they launch into a full blown arc
you don't like when they launch into an arc right away?
for filler.
Oh no, not for filler. No.
oh my
Yeah,
god,
yeah, no, they just like sprinkled in like an extra filler episode in there, like before everything, right? But like some series are like, we're gonna do a filler arc.
Do you?
Just hear me out? We're gonna make some shit up real quick. We'll get back to the actual story.
Do you prefer having just like a random filler episode, or do you prefer them to just take a week off and then go back into it?
Why? I mean, if they're taking the week off, take the week off.
Yeah.
Right.
I watch something else. It's okay.
I think it depends on the show because I remember for Solo Leveling when they took their break week, I would have been like, damn, give me a filler episode at least. So I'm just always gonna complain, I guess. But it depends on the show. Like sometimes, like My Hero, I think has had so many episodes that I don't really need a filler episode at this like point in the story because we've been
this is
through it
Endgame.
so long. It's
I'm
Endgame.
pulling Naruto.
But then Solo Leveling, this is the beginning of the story, and we all know that, like, oh, I would love to see more of the world because it's a little more faster paced. See, in that sense, I would have liked a filler episode kind of just sprinkled in because why not? I enjoy it. But yeah, for My Hero, I would have just preferred a break.
Okay.
What if the filler episode for Solo Leveling was like a penguin, but it was like a penguin that got enhanced abilities as well and awakened.
Why does that kind of sound like a good episode?
He goes
It's something you would watch.
He goes
Kinda,
into
yeah.
an ice skate because he's best suited for the job.
That sounds like a great episode. Listen, if I get Hunter
man.
Jaw in the episode, it's a win.
She would love it because
Yeah.
he's a penguin.
Oh my fucking. Okay.
Yeah, it's gold.
It's gold.
Gold.
It is.
Write that down. Write that down.
Now something like I just wanted to kind of throw this out there because I recently picked it up. And it's kind of a little twist on some classics. It's a little anime recommendation called The Grimm Variations.
Oh, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Yeah, essentially. No, shut the fuck. Have you ever seen or heard of like the Brothers Grimm?
Yes.
Where essentially they're like dark stories to
Oh, what does that
No,
sound
they're the
familiar?
OG fantasies. They're
Yeah.
the OG fairy tales, the Brothers Grimm.
That sounds incredibly familiar, but
there's a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a movie, and so now they're making an anime series. And
About
it's like a Netflix original.
Yeah. And it's about like
The different original
darker
like fairy
aspects.
tales.
Yeah.
Like they highlight the darker aspects of the original fairy tale.
like fairy tales and
But they make it
Cinderella.
oh
anime.
yes, yeah. I know what that is.
But they make it anime.
But yeah.
Anime.
So like the first one, it's a twist on Cinderella,
Orewa.
where
Oh, she.
Yamate.
where like this like oh my god, I fucking you two are this like this dad who's like a high-ranking official, like Japanese. They make it Japanese themed, where this dad and his daughter, like he marries, a woman with two daughters,
A white.
a white.
I thought he said a white too. And I was like, oh, it's this kind of show. Okay.
Every.
All right, Zoro.
Right. And so like shut the fuck. So at first you see the stepdaughters and you're just like, oh wow, they're kind of stuck up and rude. But then you realize like, nah, the younger one, like essentially like the Cinderella, the daughter of the father, right? She's fucking twisted.
Oh, really?
And she'll just play a scene so that it looks like the elders are like being rude
Or being like
and
the mean
so-
ones,
yes.
basically. Okay.
And like so like Cinderella paints this whole picture that the two stepdaughters and the stepmother are like cruel and mean, and they have like reduced her to the point of like being like a house servant at this point.
Oh. Dude, I fucking know this story. Like,
Cinderella.
no, I know, obviously know Cinderella, but I know the dark, twisted version of it. I want to say that like
Wait,
it's
you
also
were-
based off of a book or poems or
Yes.
something.
No, it
because
is.
I read
It
that in
is.
school. I think that's what it was. I might have read it in school.
It's based
Red,
off of a book.
Oh.
Little Red Riding Hood. Fuck.
I think I remember that one.
That one's super fucking dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially like the big bad wolf like lures in people so that he can kill them. But like that's because he wants like real experience. Like they're in a society that's like super artificial.
We live in a society.
Yeah. And so so other people want like the experience of something real. And like in a world where everything is got like generated by like essentially they call it like they're like drops essentially, but it like just gives you artificial feelings. Like you can get a different experience based off of the drops you have.
Wow.
But
Okay.
sometimes like these drops lead to like more extreme things, right? But people who are can get addicted to like what's real.
So these are drugs.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are
Okay.
bad. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. But so is murder, unless it's genocide.
Don't do that unless it's absolutely necessary.
Exactly.
And it has to be 100%. None of this 80% bullshit.
Yeah, for real. Hide the body, do all that shit. Do it all the way.
Sometimes,
The way you do anything is the way you do everything.
sometimes when I make YouTube clips, I insert, "This is a joke. Please don't take it seriously."
Okay.
I hope you guys know that. Just the text. That's literally.
Okay. I'll probably start doing that too. So, he got addicted to what's real. Okay, he was giving people these like experiences of like dying. That's what people wanted. Like that's what people could get in their artificial state. To him, like some aspect of it was real, but he wanted the real deal.
No, to actually kill someone.
Yeah, so like he like went outside of their like utopian society and went to like the slums and like try to like arrange for him to like hunt somebody to like kill him.
What the fuck?
And like, but
This
like
is Little Red Riding Hood?
yes, and like his Little Red Riding Hood, turns out all she does is live for like that real experience.
Of killing someone?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Ah,
she-
serial killer versus serial killer.
Oh,
The battle of the cereals.
She twists it on him so goddamn quick. Like there's gonna be
Oh.
there's like a solid second where you're just like,
Oh, he's dead.
Dang. It
like,
actually
it's-
sounds really interesting.
It's several episodes. Each episode's a different story. So
I
it's not
love
like,
anthologies like that, bro.
So it's like Cinderella, Red Riding Hood, the Shoemaker and the Little Elves,
Is
Hansel
Goldilocks
and
in there?
Gretel. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
The Peter
Oh,
Piper.
Hansel and Gretel?
That one's pretty good, but it is a psychological fuck.
Yeah, I know. The story behind that one, I think, is also really fucking crazy. It's been like over a decade since I read
Essentially,
these,
like
yeah.
Gretel was never real. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Oh, I might actually
Bro,
check
if
this
y'all
out.
like
just to,
that, y'all should watch Fairy Tale.
What? Oh. Does that have to do with that question I asked the other day?
I'm just saying, if y'all like that, like the whole like storyline of, oh god, that character was never real.
Oh.
Yeah, you should watch
Fairy
Fairy
Tale?
Tale and find out what character was never real.
The one with Natsu?
Yeah.
I really gotta get on watching that.
Mhm.
All right.
The shit gets complex, bro.
All right, before the end of the year, I'll watch it. How about that? There you go. Because I even watched the first 2 episodes for it a while back ago. I just don't keep watching.
It's hype.
But yeah, no,
I like the anthology aspect.
the
though.
grim- yeah, the-
those are nice because that way it's not like a whole series where you have to keep track of. Like, no, each episode is kind of like a thing.
and the dub. Solid.
Oh, right. And this is an anime?
Yes.
That's wild. Like, I forgot that this was an actual anime. That just sounds like it could be a regular,
really good
really good
show.
show.
The one for the shoemaker and the elves or whatever it is, the like main character of that story, he is dubbed by the same person who does Satoru Gojo.
Oh, nice. In the dub,
Uh-huh.
you crying?
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Dude,
You made him feel a
You,
type
like,
of way.
the first like 10 minutes of like that episode, fuck you guys.
It's so easy.
You cried.
He did a little shiver and he's like, whoa.
Uppies, Igris.
Uppies. Get up, buddy.
Get up. Get up.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Anime Alchemists Podcast.
Yep. Thank you.
Pretty
Thank you.
fun.
Thank you for
guys.
watching.
For putting
Make
up
sure you
with our
guys have
bullshit.
those fucking notifications on. If you guys have a topic you guys like us to talk about, let us know.
Let us know if you're interested in those retro gaming streams and stuff.
Yes.
And we could do that for you. If you want to watch me beat their ass in Tenkaichi 3, that's also up on YouTube. Well, more so him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alchemist out.
Alchemist out.